Hi, everyone. This is Gary Berman, host of the Cyber Hero Adventures Show. We have a special program today with Lior Mazor. He's the head of global information and physical security at Perimeter 81, based out of Israel. We're going to have an interesting conversation about a wide range of topics that are going to be enlightening and helpful to you, our audience. Lior, welcome to the show.
Oh, hello, Gary. Thanks for having me. It's great auditorium we have here in the
It
Zoom.
is. It is. It's really beautiful. And mine is virtual background. I don't know if yours is as well.
Yes,
It is. Okay. By the way, let me do the humor and you do the substance. That way we stay in our lanes. Okay.
no problem.
Well, there's a lot going on right now. Let's begin a little bit by you sharing your origin story. How did you get to where you are? In such an important position with a great company.
Oh, so it's actually based on experience of 18 years of experience in the cybersecurity field. So I've started as a security consultant, and then I studied computer science. So I have a vast background in development. And on top of that, I actually implemented all the security background that I have. And from there on, I've started to implement security in developers, teams, and also certified organization for ISO 27001 and SOC 2 Type 2 and PCI DSS in Israel and abroad. So I have a wide range of understanding how to deploy security policies and activities, project management, penetration testing, hardening, all the technical activities. And I also learn how to speak in a specific language with the developers or with technical people in order to better explain and implement security.
This is really an interesting thing that you're saying right now, because one of the things that I've had the privilege of listening, learning from a wide range of people in the cybersecurity ecosystem is there seem to be, kind of those people that do the work, they roll up the sleeves, like you're saying, developer and getting into the weeds, to use that expression. And then there are other folks who work to distill the complicated technology into something that people can understand. You seem to have both of those capabilities. Is that accurate?
Yes, I truly believe as an intelligent person, I first start with understanding the technology, understanding the new technology, understanding AI or cloud or any new technology, and further on, I know how to implement security on top of the technology. But first, I want to understand what's it in the box, what is the new technology there, and then how to secure it. And I think that when technical people are approaching me, I'm not talking just on a high level. I know how to talk on very technical, low-level details, and the language are the same. When you are talking with a technical person, explaining what should be done, and you are answering, because there are some not out of the box security best practices, but rather you want to align the security with the business or the business requirement. So I know how to talk very low level, but also on a high level and explaining to a higher management, executives and CEO how to build a security policy, roadmap, and further on.
And just to build on that point, there's really an additional, important segment in the cybersecurity ecosystem, which are the marketing people. And my impression, and tell me if this lines up with your experience, is the marketing people have their language and their way of doing things, and you have kind of the tech people who have the technical expertise, and maybe they don't communicate as well as they probably could. Is that accurate in your experience?
Yes, I see it all the time. Technical people doesn't know how to marketing themselves or even explain higher management what should be done. And I think my unique capability is actually to talk on each and every level of person in his own viewpoint. So eventually, I know to talk with technical people. I know to talk on a technical level, on a higher manager to talk on their level, and try to see from their eyes how do they see security. Because eventually, if you're talking very low-level technical things with executive manager, they don't understand. However, if you're talking about risk perspective, how it can harm the business, what will be the ROI of security, so you are talking on the same level, and you will find that they will more cooperate with you. If you will talk on the same level, for example, also I'm talking with developer, I'm talking Java, I'm talking C#, I'm talking in .NET, doesn't matter. Eventually, I'm talking on their language, on their development language, and it's assisting me to implement security better and implement the awareness of security and understanding why it's so important.
And there's even a fourth constituency. What about, a guy like me? I think you're doing a good job.
So as I said, even if a person doesn't know, like my grandmother doesn't know what is security or how to act in a security
Wait,
world.
are you comparing me to your grandmother? Just so I know, I'm sure she's a wonderful woman, but is that what you're saying?
She's 87, just but not like your grandma. But I do want to say that eventually each and every security is related to everyone. It's in our lives. There are hackers everywhere. Ransomware are attacking not just companies, but also ordinary people. And eventually, each and every one of us needs or must to be secured, needs to know what are the risks and how to protect themselves. Why should they use two-factor authentication when authenticated to their mail? Why they should do backups? And nowadays, it's not like 18 years ago when there were no solution. Nowadays, it's all out of the box. You just need to click a box or do your backup, and it's very easy and cheap.
That's a very good segue into the next topic I wanted to talk to you about is all the accelerated digital transformation for people working everywhere as a result of COVID. Your company specializes in network security. Why don't you tell our audience a little bit about that?
So nowadays, people are working everywhere, from anywhere, from every device, and wants to connect to their asset, to the company's asset, to the organizational asset, which is raised in the cloud or on-prem, doesn't matter. And eventually, the internet has become the new corporate network. And as you, as an end user, want to connect to a secure network, you need to transfer yourself in a secure zone. The perimeter, and my company called Perimeter 81, is actually the one who is securing the connectivity between the end user and the end assets. So eventually, we are protecting these kind of environments, enforcing policies, security policies on top of that, and actually allow or disallow with zero trust network in order to get the employee or the user to the company asset. Moreover, as an end user, we are all surfing through the internet. Even the Zoom is through internet, and there are a lot of hackers, a lot of malicious malware or viruses like that want to infect your computer, your end user, because this is where sometimes your data is resigned. So we are also protecting this kind of connectivity. When you are surfing to the internet through secure web gateway, it's another component in our product. So if anyone want to see Perimeter 81, you can see all our proposals in the website.
And just to build on that, so unfortunately, incidents do happen. Do you have capabilities, if a enterprise or a small to medium business, is hacked, do you have incident response capabilities?
So we are logging, the first of all of incident response is actually to detect. So in order to detect, you need to collect and do the audit trail, the security audit trail, to better understand and alert if there are some malfunction. There might be a malfunction that you didn't notice at all, but you're starting to get the event, and we are seeing those events and can also send it to a SIEM, a security operation center that can investigate more what is the issue. We are not doing the investigation for our customers, but each and every CISO needs to be aware and understand what are the security capabilities or the layers of security, and get those this information like audit trail or some security malfunction, some anomaly detection, in order to better understand if there is some attack or someone want to hack into your system, and then alert to the relevant response team.
And, one of the interesting things that I've listened and learned a great deal about is because of the duration of CISOs or CSOs, maybe, 18 months in a particular position, then they might be moving out to another company because of, financial or personal reasons, or maybe they were unfortunately, hacked, and they're the ones who are kind of blamed, for it. That the stack, of programs that, let's say, a large enterprise has, might be so large that they don't even know what they have, in their stack, let alone interoperability. I mean, what are your thoughts about that?
So I think when a new CISO or information security manager comes into the company, he first need to understand what is the status, like what are the security capabilities he have, which kind of system does he have, and what he's protecting against. So which kind of data and which kind of security measurement there currently are. Following that, he needs to build some mitigation plan based upon the risk posture of the company. So if you are a military, so you are in a higher risk. But if you're a startup company or you are an insurance company, for example, there are some other security risk level that you need to measure. Even if you have some regulation on you. So, for example, if you need to align with GDPR, the General Data Protection Regulation, or the California Act, or any other rule, you need to validate which kind of regulation you need to comply. And if there are some comply issue, so if you are not aligned. So I think the first picture would be to present to the management, what is the current status, even if it's not good. However, you need to build, this is your responsibility or my responsibility as a CISO, to build a program, a mitigation program based upon the risk posture of the organization. And the first thing I would advise someone to do is actually to present the risk level, what should be, what are the level we need to go through, what we are aiming to, and build a program, mitigation program. Eventually, the business of the company or the CEO or the executive will prioritize it, okay? Or will take on the other end, will take the risk. And this is also something that you need to measure. Even if you have some risk, that need to be measured and actually presented to the management what will be the mitigation plan. But always manage the risk according to your company, and it's very different from one company to another. After you're building the program, that's the second phase, is to start asking the budget. And you need to plan the budget, and you need to be aligned with the finance department, engage the other management. Okay, it's very important to get their support, because eventually if they don't know, and I'm repeating what I've said in the beginning, so you need to engage the VP R&D, the CIO, and other stakeholders in order for them to better understand what you are doing, what you are protecting, what are the plan, which kind of risk do they have in their department. For example, in the finance department, maybe there are some risk if a ransomware will occur and all the finance data will be encrypted.
Right.
What will the VP Finance do? He will cry? I don't know. But you need to state what should be and guide the company accordingly. That's what I did, and cybersecurity is a long run. It's not one time; it's a long run.
No, that's right.
It will not, it will not finish. I heard on some lecture that I've been in that the other side of innovation is cybersecurity, because each and every innovation like AI, IoT, doesn't matter, cloud, the other side is cybersecurity, and I'm in this field of cybersecurity for quite a while.
Well, let's talk about the nexus of cybersecurity and artificial intelligence. I mean, given the recent awareness and proliferation and adoption of ChatGPT, for example, what are your thoughts about the cybersecurity risks associated with it, and how are hackers, I just use that term generally, let's say threat actors or criminals, let me use that term. How are they already using AI in furtherance of malicious activities?
So I can tell you personally that I actually entered some group of hackers that is talking about the ChatGPT. I'm like a listener out there to better understand what are the new attack vectors from them. And I can tell you that every day I can see new attack vector, 1 to 2 new attack vector using the ChatGPT. So if you are thinking about it, the AI capability is actually taking or took a script kit and make it a huge hacker, because he has the vast knowledge of the AI capability. And if they don't remember which kind of function or which kind of virus or payload to write, they are just asking the ChatGPT, and the ChatGPT is writing for them. So it's accelerating their work. And as I said, I can see in the group 1 to 2 new vectors, new attack vectors. And of course, I'm from the protector point of view. So what I'm doing is actually taking those attack vectors, trying to understand how I can protect my company, our organization against those attacks. And I can tell you that the AI just accelerate the attacks, and we will see more advanced, for example, more advanced attack like persistent attack and more polymorphic malwares, which are changing their shift to be undetected, doing some sophisticated phishing. That's on the other hand. And I can tell you moreover that hackers are now using ChatGPT in order to inject malicious code to companies. So if I'm a developer in a company and ask GPT to write me a line of code, so in this line of code, I might be injected from someone who teached the AI with a malicious code, with a backdoor. So as an information security, I need to validate that all my developers, all the code that being downloaded from ChatGPT, and we already started working with ChatGPT also at Perimeter 81, but validating that the code are being trusted, are being scanned with security scanning tools, validated that we know what's get inside, and of course, our internal code are not exposed to the ChatGPT, because there are also some privacy and intellectual property issues when uploading this kind of code to the internet, so everyone can see it.
Yeah, I think that's a very astute analysis, and I think it's noteworthy that you're pointing out that artificial intelligence is a tool, can be used for good or bad. And it's interesting also that script kiddies, to use the term, are being elevated. What about sophisticated nation state actors?
So I don't know, but I'm assuming that they are using the same capabilities. The same capabilities in order to attack, be more sophisticated. Think of a developer that knows everything. Okay, you have a colleague that sometimes you have one like that in the team. So now you have 24/7 someone that you can ask question. He can develop for you. He can work for you. He can do magic thing for you. So you have a nation-state capabilities with AI, and more than that. And I think that, and I'm now seeing from the protector point of view, we as a protector should also use AI in order to protect from the other side for the malicious AI, let's call it like that. Maybe we'll have in the future machine wars like in the movies, but eventually, yes, I'm as a protector, as a CISO, I also need to use AI in order to leverage my capabilities, my protecting capabilities in order to find malicious code or doing some scans or even find anomaly detection. So I believe that the AI will be developed into two sides. One will be like the internet, there's everything out there, and the other will be for corporate. So we can use AI, and I can see also something that AI are starting to be more and more involved and as part of security products. Okay, startup companies, security startup companies already starting to develop based on AI and leverage machine learning and AI, combining those capabilities inside a security product. And I think it can leverage the level of security in organizations.
Indeed. Well, I could listen and learn from you all day. You're so terrific. How does our audience get more information about Perimeter 81?
So you can visit our site, Perimeter 81. You can see all our offers and solution over there. You can also book a demo online. You don't need a single customer service. You can, see if it's applicable and relevant for your organization, and contact us.
On behalf of a grateful digital universe, Lior, thank you for who you are and what you do, and most importantly, why you do it. And to our audience, stay tuned, and thanks for everything you do. Have a great day.
Bye-bye.